seated. And I want you all to indulge me for just a little bit, because even though I just told the graduates that they can be seated, I'm going to ask them to stand up again. All right, now I'd like you to turn and face the back of the theater. This is a great time to applaud. Oh my God. And photography is totally encouraged. The graduating class remaining on their feet, I would like the mothers and fathers, stepfathers, husbands and wives to please stand up. Very handsome and attractive group. I see where you get it. Right. Now, please remain standing. Indulge me. Can we have the sons and daughters please stand up? And brothers and sisters, please stand up.
Whatever the case may be.
And the aunts and uncles, please stand up. Cousins, please stand up. Really good friends, studio managers, bankers, investors, please stand up. Talent agents, please stand up. I did get cousins and nephews and nieces and all that, right? Did I get all the family?
Grandmothers, grandparents.
Okay. Really good friends, roommates, etc., please stand up. Grandparents, please stand up.
There we go.
I save you for last because you're the most important. Okay. Now, if you are not standing right now, it's because I forgot an important category, which at my age is not impossible to do. Or you're in the wrong theater.
There we go.
And if you're here to see Solo, good luck. It's still playing at the ArcLight, and you can catch the next feature. But if you're here to celebrate this graduation, I now want to ask our graduating class to give you all a hand, because without your love and your support, I know this isn't going to do. Oh, I did forget one category. Boyfriends and girlfriends. You can stand up too, but only if you're serious. Okay, let's have another round of applause. And now everyone can relax and enjoy the ceremony. You know, I just got news about the World Cup going to be hosted by collaboration between Mexico and the United States.
And Canada.
Is that fantastic or what?
And Canada.
I think it's really great for such an international event and to do it between the two countries. And the reason I bring it up has to do with something that I wanted to share with you. I'm looking to find my notes because there's an important quote on it. And that is something I read about soccer, particularly World Cup level soccer. And this is an article that was in the New York Times, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years ago. And the series in the New York Times is called Freakonomics, okay? There's actually a movie, Freakonomics, which had the same, I call them the two Stevens, because it was Stephen Levitt and Stephen Dubner were the two people that collaborated on this particular series. And there's even a TV show. And Freakonomics has to do with how the world doesn't always seem to work the way we think it should work. It seems oftentimes that scientific principles or regular statistical things don't often apply to things that happen when human beings are involved. And the particular article I'm talking about was called A Star is Made, okay? And I kind of like it. And to kind of get you a feel for the thing, let me find my glasses. There we go. I want to read the first couple sentences, just so you know what I'm talking about, okay? If you were to examine the birth certificates of every soccer player in the World Cup tournament, you'd find a noteworthy quirk. Elite soccer players are more likely to be born in the earlier months of the year than in later months. And if you looked at the European youth leagues that feed the pro ranks, you'd find this quirk to be even more pronounced. On one recent English team, half of the elite players were born in January, February, or March. And the other half were kind of spread out over the other 9 months. And on the German team, there were 52 players that were born in January, February, and March, and only 7 that were born in October, November, and December. What the heck? What is this all about? How can this be? How can these statistics be so strong and so there, okay? So, of course, inquiring minds want to know. And what do you do when you have a problem that you want to get an answer to? You go to the internet, and if there's nothing there, you bring in experts. And they brought in a panel of experts, and they were kind of like 3 kind of basic ideas that they thought could be causing this. Different kinds of experts for sure, because these are really different ideas. But I thought maybe I'll put these 3 ideas out and we can vote on them, okay? Idea number 1, certain astrological signs confer superior soccer skills. It's all about the stars, right? Stars born, right? Y'all like that one?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a no, okay? Number 2, this one's more scientific. Winter-born babies tend to have higher oxygen capacity, which increases soccer stamina. We like that one? Okay. All right, it's got to be the 3rd one, right? Soccer mad parents are more likely to conceive children in springtime at the height of soccer mania.
All
We
right.
like that one, don't we? But do we think that one's true?
No.
Trick question, it's none of the above. So this is what they discovered. That the European soccer youth leagues, and this happens, by the way, in the hockey world too, in Canada and the US, but these youth leagues have cutoff dates, which are December 31st, which means every year of new potential soccer players would be born from January to December. And the ones born in January were a year older, almost a year older than the ones born in December. And at that young age, there's like this kind of difference in terms of their height. So they were bigger. Does bigger make them better soccer players? No. Maybe if you're going to be an offensive lineman for the NFL, it can make a difference. But in soccer, it's about other things. Really, it's about other things. So what is it about? Well, these bigger, quote, more mature candidates got the attention of the coaches. The coaches were more drawn to the ones who seemed physically more capable and to be more mature. And when these new candidates would get the attention of the coach, it made them feel really good. And it made them want to do really well. And it made them enjoy practicing. Because after they practice, the coach would come up and say, "Great job, John." And they go, "Wow, I can't wait to practice again." So someone else gives me some praise, okay? Folks, is this fair? It really sucks, doesn't it? It should not be this way. And eventually, in the soccer world, things do even out. And the reason I bring it up is because this type of kind of preparation, this type of training, this type of practicing is something that I think is very, very important to develop a skill level that will make people achievers. Y'all remember when you first started here, how you're questioning whether or not this is the right thing to do, that your friends and family might be saying, "You know what, you want to go into music, and you want to go into audio, and you want to be recording, and you want to go into film. You know, maybe you're not the kind of person that does that. You know, that's a special kind of person. That's a more privileged person, or that's a person that doesn't have their feet on the ground. Or, you know, you should become a doctor or a lawyer or practice a skill or something else." And you all said, "Wow, am I doing the right thing?" And then you come here and you're looking around like, is anybody better than I am? You know, all these people are talking about all the work they've done, and I'm kind of new to this, and I've done something, but maybe it doesn't measure up. But you know, you stuck it out. You know, you stayed here for 18 months. And what did you do when you were here? You were taught by this amazing staff, and you practiced, and you practiced, and you practiced. Wasn't that practice fun? You know, it wasn't easy to get up at 6 or 7 in the morning, was it? You guys traditionally are the vampires of the industry. You know, these are the ones that work through the night, you know. 6 a.m. is like quitting time. It's not getting up time. But you did it, and you practiced. And I know from the faculty in music production and recording arts are amazing. I come from the film world. I have a son who's a music producer. I have a daughter who's in the film business. So I can relate to the parent thing, okay? You know, it's really great. I get a chance to see it both as an educator and as a parent. And what you've all done is proven you can stick to it, and proving you can finish, and proving you can practice. You've gotten support. You're going to continue to get support. So it doesn't matter what month you were born. And it doesn't matter what happens from right now, as long as you have the right stuff to continue. I want to share something that is was very inspirational to me. And this had to do with the comedian George Burns. He passed away like 6 or 7 years ago. Maybe some of you are too young to remember him, but you may know of his work. I know your parents probably remember. Y'all remember George Burns, comedian? You know, he and his wife, Gracie Allen, they were pioneers in radio. They kind of invented the radio sitcom, and then they did it for television, and Gracie passed away, and George continued to do stand-up and to continue to do things. And George lived to be 100 years old, 100, and he worked up until the very last months of his life. In the last decade of his life, he toured around and met with students and young people, doing kind of comedy and other kinds of things, but this kind of real, kind of dry, self-deprecating humor. And because he was considered to be such a loved icon, you remember his most famous movie role, right?
Oh God.
Oh God, right? What a great God he was.
Mm-hmm.
Probably my favorite God in the movies. Sorry. You know who I mean. Not the real one. But you know, because he was so loved, there were a lot of journalists and there were reporters and things that were following him and trying to get some really kind of nuggets and things. And one night after he had done a presentation, a woman journalist came up to him and asked him this question. Mr. Burns, how did you get to be so old? Not a question you ask in polite company, okay? You can ask a guy who's 96 years old, though, who has a real good sense of humor. But what he said was not about humor. This is what he said. He said, it's easy. I get up every morning and I love what I do. Wow. I love that. Why do I love that? Because to me, it's very profound. And why is it profound? Because so few people can say it honestly. You know, when they do polls and they do surveys of the American working population, they find that as many as 90% of the people that go to the job daydream about being somewhere else. Can you believe that? Half of our waking adult lives, we're going to a place and we're thinking we're somewhere else. We're thinking about something else rather than the thing that we're getting paid to do. What a human tragedy that is. But the people that can say, I get up every morning and I love what I do, can't wait to do that, you know? The typical person's gonna hit the snooze alarm 1,000 times, knock the alarm clock off the table, throw it across the room, and come up with a lot of reasons why not to get up in the morning. Not only go into work, but, you know, I don't know what to wear, it's too cold, my boss is an idiot, I think I'm sick, you know, where I should call in, I don't have any sick days left, you know. But not you guys, you're here, you did this thing. You came in here to practice, you came in here to get better. What an amazing thing. Folks, I don't believe in talent, I don't believe in luck. And people often question me on that. I've had lots of great debates about, well, if there's not talent, there's not luck, what are you doing in this business? You're in the entertainment business and you're denying these two things that seem to be so critical to the success of a human being? And I'm going to share with you all what I think exists instead of talent and luck, okay? Instead of talent, There's something that I've been talking about practically since I got on this stage, and that is the thing that George Burns mentioned, and that is loving what you do. That thing called talent is the passion to do something and the love to share it with people. Y'all know when you're mixing a session or you're working on a session and you're doing something, how the outside world seems to lose its grip on you and you go into a zone. How great that is. And when you're done, sometimes you're frustrated, sometimes you're not totally satisfied, but no matter what, you can't wait to get back into it again. Talent has nothing to do with that. Passion and love have to do with that. And the willingness and the ability to collaborate and share it with other artists and other technicians and other engineers is really magical and really special. You know, it is. Look at you go to movies and you see these credits roll by and you see thousands and thousands of names. These people are working together on a collaborative thing. And everything that we do is handmade. There's no machine that pumps it out. It's all putting our own hearts and our souls and our own love into the work that we do. Talent, I've talked about, when you came in here and you're looking around to see the talented ones. Remember how big the class was when you first started? We would have filled up these first 5 rows probably, right? They all graduated. What happened to them? I'm sure that there was some medical issues, some financial issues, some personal issues. A lot of them where they didn't have this, you know? It wasn't what they thought it was. They were already talented when they came in here. They wanted the credential they wanted to show off. They didn't really love what they did. And you all do. So that's what it says. That's that love and that passion, and that knowing the thing that you do that's special to you. You know, I think that we all are born with genius, but those of us who are successful in terms of having a good life are the ones who found that thing, you know? And then you fly that in the face of the odds saying, I'm going to do this thing no matter what. That's what you've all done. And that's an amazing thing. All right, so Joe, what exists instead of luck? Has anyone out here ever won a major lottery? Yeah, sometimes I just hear crickets, and sometimes I hear giggles. Every now and then a wise guy will say, yeah, I won a scratcher.
Yeah.
Or I knew someone that knew someone that knew someone. Yeah, my doctor who's rich already won. But that would be luck, okay? And you see, it didn't happen. And then the 19 years I've been doing this, it's never happened. So don't count on that. Don't count on winning the lottery. Here's what luck is. And I wish that I had created this phrase, okay? But it actually comes from a Roman philosopher. His name was Seneca. And in the 1st century, he said, luck exists when preparation meets opportunity. I love that. Don't you love that? Preparation meets opportunity equals luck. If you all have been lucky and some opportunity had come along before you know what you know now, or having an understanding of how the system works now, if it happened before then, it probably would have gone right past you. You wouldn't have known it as an opportunity. You would have expected it to be something else. But now you know. And not only do you know now, but you're at a place where you can react and respond to it. And you got to keep that preparation going. You got to be patient, you know. You got to keep that going. It's not about waiting for someone to knock on the door. It's about inviting a lot of people to come invite on your door, and you all know this, okay? So those are the 2 things. So, folks, if you get up every morning and you love what you do, and you stay prepared and you stay patient, I'm not going to say that you're going to live to be 100 years old, like George Burns, or have a following like he had. But I will say that you will have an amazing life that will bring you much happiness, much satisfaction, and much love. It's been a joy. I love you all. Keep in touch. Congratulations.
Woo!
And now the best part, presentation of the degrees.
Stars.
All right. So I want to give a congratulations to my fellow graduates.
Woo!
Thank you to the incredible staff that are here for us. And of course, a love-filled thank you to my family for all their support. Thank you.
Joshua Sharma, graduating with summa cum laude.
All right, folks, it's good to be here. And firstly, thanks to
Told you that was the best part. With the graduating class, please rise. And it is both a joy and a privilege for me, on behalf of the Los Angeles Film School, to bestow the degrees Associate of Science in Audio Production, Associate of Science in Recording Arts, Associate of Science in Music Production. And with these degrees, all the rights, honors, and responsibilities that come with them. Would you please turn and face the back of the theater? And at this time, move your tassel from the right side to the left side. The left side, the side that's closest to your heart. And ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the graduating class of the Los Angeles Recording School, June 2018. And this concludes our ceremony. Thank you all for coming. What a great day. I know you're proud because I am. Please have a wonderful and safe weekend.
Woo!